Welcome back to Man Across New Horizons. I'm videodiary. As we see what's going on our lovely, lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where again we're not going to be doing Happy Home Paradise today. We'll be saving that tomorrow. I feel like it makes more sense for me to record Happy Home Paradise on days I don't record other videos, because you know it takes a long time to do Happy Home Paradise things, and you know if I record other videos, then it's like I spend like 4 hours recording or something one day, which is too much time. Which is, you know, you might be like fair, you might be like that's not fair, but there's quite a few Happy Home Paradise there's Happy Home Paradise playlist if you want to look at all my customizations, so, you know, and they're also quite long. And honestly, they're kind of not interesting. It's kind of more to see the end product, I think. But yeah, that's my apology. You know, YouTube apology video caught live on camera in 4K, I don't know. Hello everyone, right now Fawnhallow, it's 4:56 PM on Friday, December 10th, 2021. I just heard about CJ's business day. We got our first snow of a season, which is probably what I should be talking about rather than talking about not doing Happy Home Paradise, because I do love Happy Home Paradise. It's just like, you know, it takes a while, and I want to take a while because I want to get the decoration done, and there's not really a way to speed it up. And I already recorded some Ori and Will-O-Wisps today, but hopefully throughout most of December I won't actually have to record all that much because I'll have quite a big backlog. I will say we have too many letters apparently going on, so we need to start getting rid of some of them again if we want to actually have a chance to get some new ones. Of course, Vivian, you can us that, but we already had that. Let us, I'm not sure whose we should start getting rid of. I suppose we'll scroll down until we find some old villagers and get rid of their stuff. Sorry about that little bit of a quick pause, but let's see. So we saved the first letter we got from each of our other villagers, and we're going to start throwing away some of the other ones. Hopefully just to clear out a little bit of room, because we are currently drowning in how many sort of letters we got going on. I'm pretty sure that is the second Savannah one. If it's not, then whoops. We have mildly messed up, but that's fine. We have these letters recorded, I suppose, forevermore, which is really the only important part. Let's throw away about 10 or so, and that will probably be enough. Unfortunately, villages which have gone, we no longer particularly... If anything, I suppose we should save a birthday letters like this one. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if we got a birthday letter from every single villager before they moved away, which makes it a little bit more tenuous, one might say. Or one might not. I don't know, it's not really up to me, you, all of us. And I think that's probably good enough. So let's just sort of go around. See what's going on. Hello, Raymond. Cute little hat. And we'll try our best to find our villagers to have a little bit of a chat with. Apologies again for another pause, but we'll go about our usual business now. I don't really know what I want to talk about because I don't really have anything particularly in mind. You know what I do want to talk about is the fact there's a big, well, actually quite a few things, gaming-wise have been announced. One of them being, whatchamacallit? What's that game? You know the game? Cuphead, of course. I can't remember what the DLC is called, but it's something, which acronyms to DLC in the first place. Delicious Last Course? That sounds about right to me in my head. I'm not quite sure exactly if that's quite precise, but that has been announced. That's being released, I believe, next year, June? Something along those sort of lines, which would be very exciting. I did play through the entire of the first Cuphead, and it was incredibly fun. There's nothing really else I can add about it. It was just a grand old time. Am I going to play it? Yeah. Am I going to record it? Maybe. Depending on how exactly the timings line up for those sort of things, I will definitely at least attempt to record it. Just like I did with Baba's U. If you don't know, I'm recording Baba's U. It's the game that's coming after Talos Principle. The Baba's U game maker update. I don't actually know what the update's called, but you know what I mean. The modding update or whatever, where there's a huge amount of packs being released and that sort of thing. So yeah, Cuphead might come like way after it actually comes. Rarely do the game schedules line up with my exact schedules, which is fine, you know. I'm not really in particularly any sort of rush to be like, well, I gotta be the first person to play this game. I'll play it whenever, you know. But if that got announced, that's pretty exciting. But also, another really cool thing, which was released recently was Big Brain Academy for the Switch was released. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Big Brain Academy, like Brain Battle or something. No, it's something about like a face-off. Big Brain Academy Switch, I think. And Brain versus Brain, that's it. And I only know this is because Northern Line played a little bit of it, of course. You know, the one YouTuber I watch. Actually, that's not true. I watch like 3. Northern Line, TFT Keen, and Critical Role. That's basically it. Yeah, he frosted pretzels. Is that a thing? I have no idea. I know nothing essentially about pretzels. But he played Big Brain Academy on his stream, and it was, I gotta say, it was so extraordinarily nostalgic watching it, because it's basically a combination from the previous 2 titles, the one on the Wii and one on the DS. I don't know if it was one on the Wii U actually. A load of mini games from that, which I have played a ton of, and Big Brain Academy is something I like to think I'm reasonably good at. You know, part of me is like, I'm kind of good at puzzles. It's probably how I'd put it. There you are, Vivian. I thought we didn't chat with you yesterday. Maybe we did, I can't remember. I'm pretty good at puzzles, I like to think. I like to think I have quite a logical mind in certain aspects and creative in other aspects, but I can learn and pick up on how to do puzzles and brain teasers and that sort of thing very quickly. And I'm sure part of it is, maybe not, I'm sure part of it is due to the fact that I played a lot of Big Brain Academy, both for DS and the Wii version when I was younger, because this is actually a thing. Back in secondary school, we had like a project where we had to design an app, and we were going to do some brain training one, and then we basically researched it, and it was like, oh, brain training apps don't actually really help your brain all that much, they just kind of make you better at doing more brain training app games. And we were just like, well, we're still going to sort of make it anyway. And we didn't even make it, but we still got like decent marks, all things considered, which is kind of weird considering we didn't actually make a product in the end. But I don't know, that was a weird sort of like enrichment class, and I don't know if we really did anything, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, Big Brain Academy is something I played a lot. I played a huge amount of DS version. I played a decent amount of Wii version. The DS one was just a bit more convenient, you know. I remember made a profile for me, my sister, and my parents, and that sort of thing, and I just played it all the time. I do remember my sister got a higher score than me once on the Big Brain test thing, and I could never beat that score again. I think it was like some very lucky confluence of like a load of puzzles that she was good at, and like some very like lucky spawns or something for puzzles. You know, at that point it was my justification, I suppose, for my I can't remember how old it was. It must have been like 10 or something when Big Brain Academy first came out on the DS. My justification to losing to her. But of course now I'm like 15 years older than back then. You would have thought I got at least somewhat smarter in some aspect. It kind of depends, because, you know, like obviously if you ask me like any sort of history or geography knowledge, any knowledge I learned back in school around that sort of age, I'm going to be like, I have no idea now, because I haven't needed to use that knowledge for ages. And that just kind of happens as you get older. You kind of forget about knowledge that you never really needed to retain or learn. But, you know, if you ask me about maths stuff, you know, I'd smoke 14-year-old me in like a maths competition, probably. I'd hope so, at least. 22-year-old me now, that's a bit more tenuous. 22 is probably around my more, like, my peak, I suppose, of all the, maybe 23, no, 22, well, no, somewhere around that time is when I knew the most math stuff, and, you know, now I've slowly forgotten things, as I become more specialised in statistics rather than, like, learning about mechanics and pure mathematics. But Big Brain Academy, I'm super excited for. I certainly want to play it at some point. I'm not sure if it's something that would be a good recording sort of thing. So I was thinking about it. I was like, I want to live stream at some point. You know, it's been something I've been talking about for like months, and then I just never really gotten around to it. Because I kind of wanted to do it after I made like a VTuber avatar for D, but I've never really gotten around to that. So maybe I should do that at some point. At least give that a strong attempt, and it might be a lot of fun, or maybe it'll be the worst experience of my life. I don't really know, but I like to think at least it'll be a fun thing to do. But yeah, I do want to live stream at some point, and I was like, that could be a fun game to live stream. Because before I was like, what game would I even live stream? I need something which would be like a continuous thing, not a progression based system necessarily, because I feel like that kind of fits YouTube a bit better than it fits Twitch, or any sort of live stream, because like recording's always there, and I don't know, but maybe I was like, maybe I should play some older games, like things, what if I played through like Skyrim or something, because I have that, and I played through, apparently I played like 10 hours of it. I remember essentially none of it, but what if I just like played through Skyrim or something like that? and then, you know, had people in chat who played the game to help me and that sort of thing. But then I was like, maybe that's a bit boring, I don't know. But then I think, Big Brain Academy, puzzles, I'm like kind of known for being decent at puzzle games, I like to think, at the very least. Actually, saying that, I got a really funny comment recently on one of the Witness YouTube videos. It was very strange. I was of course on holiday, and you know, I saw my YouTube notifications and got some nice comments and be like, oh, one of them was like really nice, oh, your voice is really nice and calming, and I was like, oh, thank you, that's sweet. And then one of them was on The Witness. Now, don't go seeking it. I'm not going to tell you where to find it, and I'm only going to paraphrase and like, no hate towards this guy, you know. It was just, I found it kind of amusing, if anything, because, you know, one of them was just like downvoted for not listening to one of the audio logs in Witness, and I was like, okay, I mean, I guess fair, but to be honest, I didn't. If it means taking a downvote or a dislike, I suppose, to not have to necessarily listen to the very long audio logs which are present in The Witness, and basically stop talking for that entire like 3-minute period or whatever, then fair enough. I'll take the dislike. I don't like. That might seem weird coming from me, because I'm very much someone who does like story and lore and that sort of thing, but it very much depends on how it's addressed. I hate reading like just huge swaths of text and like listening to huge like audio logs and that sort of thing just to get the lore thing. My lore for it, like, you know, Talos Principle, I would say, was certainly pushing it a lot of time. A lot of the lore things and the logs I got kind of bored of reading. I know they added to the experience of the atmosphere and that sort of thing. The audio logs I always thought were quite entertaining, I'll be perfectly honest. But Witness, I kind of like blanked all of the audio logs after like the first 3 weeks. I was like, it's not for me, to be perfectly honest. So, you know, he didn't like that, whatever. You know, I'm not going to be the perfect Witness speedrun, or not speedrunner, player, I suppose, in the first thing. But they left a comment, which I was just like, how very strange. It was apparently addressed to experienced Witness players, and it was about basically like rating me, I suppose, and how my Witness play was. You know, they were just like, oh, you know, good at puzzles, very systematic, and talks about their thought process. The downsides, not very systematic when it comes to exploration, and use the guide when they got stuck finding things. I was like, you know, at first I was like, what? why would you comment something like this? And I was about to be kind of annoyed, but then I got like less annoyed, and I was like, you know what? It's kind of a niche thing, you know. What if you're someone who wants to like watch people experience a Witness and that sort of thing? You can just read this guy's comment and be like, oh, what's this player like, I suppose, without having to. You're very much trapped in the sea of fishes over. Or without having to like, you think about moving. Yeah, I will say biscuit, not allowed. You should say. Yeah, if you're an experienced person in Witness and you're just trying to find someone who's playing a Witness and that suits the sort of thing that you want to see, you can just look at this guy's comment and be like, oh, okay, you know, this person's pretty good at puzzles and she's pretty good at narrating exactly what she's doing in her thought process, but she hates exploration and ignores a lot of lore of the thing. Do I want to watch that? I don't know. Now, I'm going to say, is it exactly something I signed up for, to be on like Rate My YouTuber, I suppose, or Rate My Witness player? No, but I found it amusing enough that, you know, I was like, okay. I'm not going to say it brightened my day, but it certainly added an interesting sort of spice to it. A sort of flavour you taste and you're like, I'm not sure if this is a good or bad thing necessarily, but it's kind of funny. Sorry, I just want to go on that bit of a tangent, because it was a real roller coaster. Like I was on holiday, you know, and just like relaxing and vibing when I saw the thing, and I was like, I saw the comment, I was like, excuse me? And then I was like, it was kind of funny. It's a really weird thing that happened. Anyway, not a point. Big Brain Academy. Yeah, I feel like it would make a good live stream game, because if you don't know, Big Brain Academy, what you basically do is like you basically do a load of these like brain teaser-esque minigames to try and challenge your brain to unlock its potential and get good at like certain things. Like you test your memory, your visual identification skills, your analytic skills, your computational skills, and that sort of thing. And there's like 3 different games in the 5 different categories, and they'll test your metal and that sort of thing, and test different parts of your brain and in different ways. And basically what you do is, in the older games, the general core loop and concept is you would practice these games, and then you would do a test, which would basically, you try and score highest points possible in each of these sort of 5 regions. It will randomly select one of the 3 games, and then it will choose one of the. And then you have to play one of the 3 games for each of the categories, and you just try and score the highest cumulative score possible with that sort of thing. And it's all about sort of like iterating upon that and improving where you can, and being sad when you can't, I suppose, to a certain degree, but maybe not necessarily sad, but you know what I mean. But that's a general loop. But it's interesting because Nintendo seemed to be on a sort of kick of introducing competitive elements to these casual games, that sort of thing. I mean, you had like Tetris 99, you had Pac-Man, you had the Mario, the Super Mario, Plant Flower Seeds customized. Sorry, I was just paying attention to what things we had. the Super Mario Battle Royale. They seem to now be on a sort of kick of trying to introduce these elements, I suppose, to the game. Heaven knows exactly when we're going to get an Animal Crossing Battle Royale. I suppose that doesn't really adapt well to the medium as the others may do necessarily. But this one, the Big Brain Academy, there's kind of a sort of leaderboard. I mean, there's a leaderboard, but there's kind of like not Battle Royale, but like Battle Royale will be cool if it ever comes as a game mode. Like a competitive element, kind of similar to WarioWare. Not Smooth Moves. What's it called? WarioWare's the Switch one, or whatever it's called. I don't know. You know what it's called. Well, they got that sort of like daily challenges and that sort of thing. It's not, they don't have daily challenges, but they have like a leaderboard where you basically play the ghost recordings of other people who've played these games, and then if you do better than them or something, you beat them and you gain elo, and if you do worse, then you lose elo, etc., etc. It's just amusing to me to have like the concept of like a rank ladder in what's like, even though Big Brain Academy is all very brain teasery and very, I'm not going to say it's competitive necessarily, but it's quite casual in a sense, despite the fact it's quite like intensive game sometimes. It feels very weird to have like a sort of very strong competitive element, I suppose, for it to really for them to bring in this new iteration. Am I against it? No, honestly, it seems kind of fun. It seems kind of cool, and that's why I'm kind of like, I kind of want to play it. I want to see how far I can climb on that leaderboard. Am I going to be good? Am I better than I thought? Am I worse than I thought? Is like my previous Big Brain Academy experience helpful, or is it not? I don't know. Luckily, we don't need to water bees because it's snowing, and I believe it counts as rain. Not that it really is much of an effort, I suppose, to water bees in the first place, but hey ho, here we go. It's just kind of amusing that they've introduced it, and it honestly, it does kind of make me want to play it. Like, you know, I've talked ad nauseum about the fact I'm not particularly competitive when it comes to well, most things, to be honest. Self-competitive in a certain degree, or like maybe I'm just like, I'm so cocky internally that I'm just like, well, you know, I already deem myself the best. I don't need to worry about competition. I don't think that's particularly the case. I just think I'm not particularly competitive. With other people, competition doesn't really drive me so much as my own self-improvement might necessarily do. But part of me is just like, okay, you know, now you're speaking my language. Now this is something I want to see. Now this is kind of something I want to see how I square up against the rest of the world. Because it's, you know, dexterity, ladders and that sort of thing, you know, League Legends, ranked games, that sort of thing, I don't really get about. It doesn't interest me nearly as much, which is why I never really spent too much time climbing ranked ladders in previous games, the exception of being TFT, which was one I have spent quite a bit of time playing, like ranked for, like scaling up a ladder, because it's, I don't know, I suppose it's a bit more strategic, so I kind of enjoy it in that regard more. I don't know why I did that. If anything, we should be trying to catch another coelacanth, so we can eventually give to CJ 3 coelacanths. I believe we have 2, or maybe just one other one, I'm not particularly sure. But quite a rare spawn, so I wouldn't particularly count on them happening in the first place. But yeah, I would say it's got me. I'm kind of like, I want to see how good I am. I want to see how much Big Brain Academy is, and how much fun it'd be. And I feel like it would make a good sort of like live stream thing, because, you know, before I was like, maybe I'll play Binding of Isaac or that sort of thing, but I'm like, dexterity, not dexterity based games, but like I'm not particularly known for playing roguelites or anything like that sort of thing. It's a bit of like a weird mishmash from my usual style. I'm much more calming and chill and very family friendly sort of vibes I like to think, and Binding of Isaac is not necessarily like it sort of disguises itself as a very sort of non-family friendly elements, but for some reason it doesn't quite clock it as not as family friendly. Perhaps it's not necessarily cutesy art style, but it's less graphic art style, kind of like obfuscates the facts. At least it obfuscates it for me. Maybe not necessarily for you. So I'm like, maybe that's not really a good fit. And maybe I could play some Animal Crossing. I was like, that's kind of boring on live stream. Like the only interesting part is me just like talking ad nauseum for half an hour. I feel like I can do that with any sort of game. So maybe Big Brain Academy. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe that's what I need to like show how great I am. You know, I'll start live streaming it on Twitch and be like, whoa, check out this professional Big Brain Academy streamer or whatever. She's so great. Oh wow, she's amazing. Obviously I don't really care about those sort of words of affirmation, but it might be something which I feel like fits me quite well in that certain regard. And what's great about Big Brain Academies, I believe every single one of these games are games that have appeared before in previous Big Brain Academies. At least there weren't many that I don't think I didn't recognise. They all felt familiar to me. Like a computational one. Let me think if I can even remember all the mini games. Okay, so there's 5 areas of skill. There's analytic, there's visual, I think computational, memory. What's the other one? I can't remember what the other one was, to be honest. Okay, the memory one's always the easiest one. There's one of them where it's like you got a load of cards and some of them flip over and you have to tap the images which appear on the cards that you flipped over. Oh, I forgot. We need to actually we went to a Nook Mile Island. We need to go to Harv's Island. I forgot. Tap the icons which were flipped over. That was in the DS version. There's a memory one where you had to input the sequence backwards from what you normally had. I don't remember if that was in which ones that was in previously. I think it might have been in the DS version, but I'm trying to remember the DS version because the DS version had the flipped over card sequences and it had the audio one, right? I'm not sure. I was getting kind of confused in my mind, but it's also not particularly important that I recall them all off the top of my head. So this is where I can just sort of look them up, I suppose. Brain versus Brain games. Mini games? Nintendo Switch games. I suppose if we look at the actual Nintendo site, maybe we'll list them all. Identify, memorize, analyze, compute, visualize. Oh, don't play any music, please. Apologies, another pause again. Oh no, I closed the Big Brain Academy thing. I was trying to look up all the Big Brain Academy mini games. Maybe this you just go Big Brain Academy. I mean, you just go on Google Images and you see what Google Images has to offer you. Okay, maybe you should actually show me the mini games. Demo or mini games in Brain versus Brain. Hold on. We agree. I thought it was just called Big Brain Academy for the Wii. Okay, so this one's legitimate. This one is of course fake. Look at its weird alien technology. Actually, let's buy the fake one. I'm perfectly honest, because I think we already have a copy of this legitimate one. Anyway, I did have a quick glance at the list of games, and there were. So in Big Brain Academy, 5 different things. Let me think. In Memorize, there's a reverse sequence, which I think was in the DS version. They have the bird cages, which is basically the not Monty Hall problem, what's it called? 3-card Monty. But with a load of bird cages and, you know, a lot more than 3 bird cages. That was in the Wii version. I remember that. And they also had the flippy over card one, which I talked about already. That was in the DS version. Okay, compute. What was in compute? That's a good question. I don't have a good answer for you, unfortunately. Do we need to put stuff away? I don't know particularly we need to keep this stuff, but we don't need to keep that. Why do we have so many acorns? How did that happen? Why are we keeping a black bass? In compute, there was one of the DS versions, I remember. There was basically, you have like a number of symbols, like say there's 8 symbols on screen, and then you had to click 2 of the cards below, which would, all the cards have a different number of different symbols on them, and you had to select 2 cards which their summation of a number of the symbols on them will equal the number of symbols at the top. That was the DS one. What other one was there? There was Mallet Math, where you have like a stack of different numbers, and then you had to like make all the numbers add together to a sum total or something. You had to hit away the ones which you don't need. What was the other one? I'm not sure. This one you had to go Brain versus Brain mini games, and hopefully that they all appear. I see times of conservation. When DIY is on the rise and island residents do not buy many goods. Oh dear, I see. 2 darling little raccoons soaking their pillows with tears. Oh no! From this vision to D-set your luck money will diminish. That's horrific. Timmy and Tommy not getting enough money to survive, apparently. Tom Nook could probably fund them, seeing as he's got enough money to go around. Purify me. Purify me. Please do, £10,000. Chump change. Big Brain Academy, Brain vs Brain, all minigames and test. Hold on. Thank you to your game master, apparently. gonna have to mute your video though, because unfortunately I don't want to look at it. But this is someone else playing through all of them, I suppose. We gotta look at all these minigames. We don't care about this. We don't care about y'all. Customization, sorry. Oh, there's actually 4 minigames in each pack this time. It's different, so there's 20 in total in the Switch version, which is different. Oh, so we must have taken 2 from each one. I can see that here. Which is different from the Wii and DS versions, which only had 3 of each one. So on Identify, you got the Whack-A-Mole one, that was definitely on the Wii. You got the Spotlight Searcher one, I think that was on the Wii as well. Then you got the Missing Puzzle Piece one from the DS. I feel like the Pixelated Image one was also from the Wii. I don't quite remember. Anyway, Identify is like... I don't think it's my strongest subject, to be honest. Oh no, wait, hold on. Okay, let's try and order which of these I think is my best to worst. Memory is almost certainly my best one. And probably Compute, I guess, is my next one. Visualize will probably be third, Analyze fourth, and Identify last, maybe? I don't know. This is why I need this game. I need to put my metal... or pedal to... what? What's the phrase? Pedal to the metal. I need to put a pedal to the test. I need to see what I'm good at. I need to see what I'm not good at. I won't know until I try. The Memorize ones, they got the backward sequence... No, the Memorize the Sequence one, which was on the DS. We've got the Memorize the Cards one, which is also on the DS. We've got the backward sequence one. Was that on the Wii? It might have been on the Wii, I can't remember. We've got the Bird Cages, which is on Wii. Analyze, they got the Counting Cubes one. I can't remember what was that was on. They got the Weigh Scales, which was on the DS. They got the Make the Shape one, by deleting other blocks. But I think that was on the DS as well, I'm not actually sure. And they got the Quiz one, which I think the Quiz one was on the Wii. So I guess the Counting Cubes one must have been a Wii one as well, I don't remember. We've got Compete one, which is the Add Up Symbols one, that was on the DS. The Mad at Math, that was on Wii. The Clock one, I think that was also on the Wii, if I recall. And the Balloon Pop, I think that was also on the Wii. I honestly can't remember. Mr. Loeb here is currently blocking the Visualize one, so I can't actually properly see them. Oh look, we got Toy Day toys coming out of it. Do we need to buy these? I don't remember. Visualize, I got the Silhouette one, which is like the Tangram thing. That was on the DS. It might have been on both. Actually, now I think about it. Let's not sell these coconuts. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm kind of hyped for Big Brain. Brain vs. Brain, and it's already come out. We got one which is Identify Silhouettes. That was on the DS, definitely. We got the Train one, I'm pretty sure was on the Wii. And we got the Picture This from a Different Angle, which I don't remember on any of the previous ones, if I'm perfectly honest. But it's been a while since I played Big Brain Academy. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think I might be the greatest Big Brain Academy player in history. No, obviously not, but I think I might be pretty good. Good enough to put on a good showing. Good enough to be entertaining enough to watch. Good enough that people, you know, there's only 2 reasons you watch people play games. 1, they're good, or 2, they're entertaining, or 3, they fulfill a specific niche. And currently I feel like I'm in the niche category of being like kind of chill vibes, hopefully. I'm leaning into the good category, if depending on the game, if it's a puzzle game. But am I entertaining? I don't see myself as particularly entertaining. I don't really see myself as a comic, a comedian, or anything of that sort. And, you know, it's not like I take pride in that necessarily, but I'm not really bothered by that in its entirety. You know? I'd rather have chill vibes than funny vibes. It's not like those are particularly mutually exclusive, I'll be honest, but for me, apparently they are. But that's it. This is my step into being extremely good, I suppose, at these sort of things. Perhaps it could be... I'm just talking about this untapped potential. Not... Like, I haven't even really touched on the fact that I think it's going to be a fun game to play, because, you know, I played the previous Big Brain Academies so much before. I've had so much fun playing them. I don't see why I wouldn't have fun playing this one. Oh, we need to buy something, so I guess I'll buy some flower seeds real quick. And then we'll go plant them. That'll actually be enough Nook Mile mission farming. I don't know what it's going to take to get Tank to move out, to be perfectly honest. And it might take a while, and it might be honestly kind of true. What I saw before, that the newestly moved in a villager cannot move out. Is that true? I swear I read this. I'm actually going to Google it. New Horizons newest villager will not move out. Wait, as I spelt it. I'm not going to time travel. There's no real point. Villager will move out. Should how to remove villagers. Okay. Oh, moving Animal Crossing wiki. Didn't realise there was a thing about it. Moving in New Horizons. Let's buy some flowers. Dialogue, confronting villager, stay, empty plot of land, also exact time frames, possible third party center, claim villager, talking to village twice in a row, ask the village to move to player's island, contact Tom Nook, only possible if both have Nintendo Switch Online membership, moving in, prologue, post prologue, 4 ways a village can move in, through mystery tours, campsite villager, opening plots fill in naturally. Oh, I didn't realise it was a chance every single day, which increased. I only bought 1 red pansy. I meant to buy 2 more. Open what? Move outs. The players have had to force a villager to move out if they want to make room for another villager or simply do not like a villager. They can manipulate the game's mechanics. Unlike previous games, villagers will never leave without your permission. I mean, I already knew that, so I don't know why I was like, Time to time villagers outside may be in thinking pose or about thought bubble was visible above them. This does not necessarily mean a villager wants to move out, but it's mostly commonly associated it. If you prompt a villager to stay, they'll immediately stop thinking about moving and start a cooldown on 5 days where no one can ask to move and never think about moving at all until the player prompts another villager to stay. Oh. So for 5 days, no one can move out. If you prompt a villager to leave, they'll start packing up and free open a slot. Our villagers will talk about villager moving out. Isabel will mention their last name of island. During the day, villagers packed up on box so they can be adopted. Villagers that are not adopted will be voided, or they could be potentially picked up by randomly by island visitors into their moving queue. There'll also be a 15-day cooldown when no one can ask to move. So Saturday, we'll log in as an island resident and talk about villagers to cancel and move out. Move out triggers. Has 6 villagers. 5 days passed since last time someone asked. 15 days passed since the last villager moved out. There's a something % chance a villager will think of moving out. 50% time plus C. Plus C where they as the number of days moved out. If you have 10 villagers, the chances range from 50 to 80% every single day. Oh, okay. If a dash rolls, a villager will be picked to ask to move out. Only 1 villager can think about moving out on a given day. Assuming in form of a thought bubble at first. Thought bubbles do not appear when a villager is inside. Well, this will last the entire day and act as a flag on that villager. Condition not make them think about moving out. The flag will end the next day if the villager was not confronted. This random, but villagers with high friendship levels are less likely to be chosen. Oh, okay. A villager with favour level 3 is 8 times more likely to ask than a villager with max friendship. Well, that's interesting because we have such high friendship with all our other villagers apart from Tank. Because they've just been around for longer, so... Your most recent villager, last villager you said no to during a move out, and villager with their birthday within the next 7 days, or villager who is scheduled to move are excluded from asking to move out. So it seems like Tank, it is impossible for Tank to move out now. So we basically have to rely on fauna coming through a campsite. Or we get an amiibo card. Oh well, I have a more read of this because it's not something you really do in the middle of an episode, but we'll round up this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscriptions, shares are greatly appreciated. Join my Dear Darling Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now it's our farewell. So until next time, bye for now. Apologies, this video probably should have ended like 5 minutes ago instead of me just reading this Wikipedia article. Oh well.